everyone, welcome to Wine Down, the podcast where we talk wine and everything that goes with it. Today we have Cheryl DeAngelo from Bubbly and Blue. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right, charcuterie boards.
Yes, charcuterie, which is like the hardest word for me to say.
How did you
guys
used to pronounce it before?
I used to say charcuterie.
Close enough, right, Cheryl?
Yeah, close enough.
But I know how to say it now, charcuterie.
Charcuterie.
Yeah, can you say that like 10 times?
Charcuterie.
Charcuterie.
Not 10 times.
She's like,
Especially
don't even
with wine.
try.
After the first couple glasses, probably.
Yeah, what are you pouring, Chris?
I'm pouring Lambrusco. This is like my favorite. I mean, you got to do yourself a favor if you haven't had good Lambrusco and charcuterie, drink it. Please. It's like the most classic pairing. Ooh. So we talk about regionality and wine and food pairing is like, obviously there's so many things that it makes it so complicated, but at its core, the thing that we need to focus on is regionality. So if it grows together, it goes together. So Lambrusco is a grape that is popularized in the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy. And that is like the culinary like capital of Italy. Like I swear, I thought we ate a lot of salted pork. Like they're like the salted pork capital of the world, and this is their like pairing, right? So I poured two Lambrusco side by side because like Lambrusco has this very terrible reputation by a particular brand that should not be named. But in the 80s, they just created like really cheap, pink, sweet, bubbly things that like tarnished the entire appellation and the entire category as in a whole, and these are two really serious examples of Lambrusco. So I wanted to pour them side by side for you. So like, what do you notice right off the bat?
I know. The color.
Yes.
The color.
That's awesome. So Lambrusco is not just like one grape. There are like 60 different varieties, and here we have an example of one really light colored one by Paul Trineri. This is called Lambrusco de Sobara, which is known to be really floral, pretty. And then you have Lambrusco de Grasparosa, that dark, like sinister, really bubbly thing.
Moani, we didn't cheers. You have to cheers.
We do. Hey,
I just got excited.
No spit cups.
Cheers.
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 Welcome to season 2.
Yeah.
So I know we're gonna probably shoot this out of order or show it out of order, but like, it's nice to be back.
But we got a new couch.
I thought we'd be canceled. So it's nice to be back.
Ooh, this is really
It's delicious.
Yeah.
It's sort of similar to a rosé.
Yes.
Yeah. I like the effervescence.
So it's like a red grape, but like, so grapes, like the grape juice comes out clear for pretty much every single wine. And the only reason it gets this color is because the time on the skins.
Okay.
So you can see like this one had not so much time on the skin, and then this one has like,
Lots of time.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, talking about the color, like look at this color with this board. Can we just talk about the range, the creativity that goes behind? Like, where do you get your creativity? Where do you get, I mean.
It's like it's not just
I
like
envy
meat,
it.
it's art.
It's
like
art.
meat art.
Thank you so much.
Mark?
Yeah. I mean, charcuterie, I grew up with, meat and cheese because I grew up with a stepfather that was from New York. He was very Italian. His name was Vinny Bongiorno. It doesn't get more Italian than that, right? Vinny Bongiorno.
That can't be his real name.
So in our refrigerator, we would always have pepperoni and provolone. And he would always serve that to any guest that came, right? The baguette and then provolone and pepperoni. So that started when I was 6. And then over the years, I just kept, eating cheese and charcuterie. And then me and my husband, we got married in Italy. So we were married in Florence, and when we would wake up in the morning, we would have a cheese and charcuterie board at our door. And so it just reminds me of that beautiful place, and that's why I just kind of got into it. And it's been something that I do to welcome friends and family into my home.
Oh, so Bubbly and Blue is sort of like a recent thing?
Because we couldn't see our friends and family, but I wanted them to know that we were thinking about them. So I started to make boxes. They knew when they came to our house, they would be welcomed with a cheese and charcuterie board. So I turned it into boxes and delivered it to them at Thanksgiving. And then people started asking me for the boxes to take to their events or their small intimate dinners. And then it just grew from there.
I'm sure with social media, because the presentation is so beautiful, people probably take pictures and post all the time.
Right.
So, and I think it's probably because everyone's at home and they're gathered with their family.
Yeah.
and it's just a beautiful way to kind of have an excuse to.
Yeah, and I think it's so awesome that you're reliving not only your getting married in Italy, but also just creating memories for your friends and also nurturing the memories of when you were little.
I think that's what's so great about food and wine is that it just takes us back to a place that, you know, it reminds us of special memories and places we've been. So it's wonderful.
For sure. Chicken skin right there.
I know.
Really?
I know, I was going to say, take me back.
So meaningful and romantic.
I'll tell you a story about the other side of it though. It's like, there's this...
Okay, well, hold your story.
No.
We're going to have to talk about it when we get back after this break. See you soon, guys.
Welcome back to Wine and Charcuterie, where we have Bubbly and Blue with Cheryl. All right, Chris, what was that story you were just telling us about?
So Cheryl's right. Like, wine and food does bring us back to a certain place, but like, there's this thing called the Chianti effect. You know, you got married in Florence, right? Like, Tuscany Chianti. Like, I hate when people come up to me and say, "Oh, like, we had the best bottle of Chianti. It was $2, and like this Chianti that you're serving me at the restaurant, it's terrible. I hate it." And it's like, they don't understand that they were on vacation. They were probably with somebody they love. They turned off their phone. They don't need to check email. They were in the place that created it, you know? Like, you're looking over the towers of San Gimignano and like, yeah, it's probably gonna taste a little bit better. So like, it does bring you back to a certain place, and it could be almost detrimental. But that's just me on my Psalm soapbox, talking about how people like hate wine. But.
All right, well, guys, are we gonna eat?
Yes, get into it.
Are we gonna ruin this presentation?
No, you're not going to ruin
Sure,
it.
let's do it.
Do you want to tell us about anything,
Yeah,
or is there a way to go about this?
Okay, sure. So when I do a charcuterie board, I like height, I like color, and then I like variety. So for the grapes, we have sable grapes, which is my favorite. It's like the black grape. And then these are red grapes and green grapes. I also have strawberries, blueberries, pomegranate, which my daughter is really good at taking out the inside. So pomegranates. And then for charcuterie, we have prosciutto, soppressata, salami roses, which is a hit on TikTok right now, right?
Yep.
They're like, it's all over the place.
I'm just joking.
Oh, okay.
All right, boomer.
TikTok.
And
That's a TikTok.
pepperoni. Like I said, I grew up with pepperoni, and pepperoni is just the American Italian version of, you know, like the salamis and stuff. So I also have provolone, which is what I grew up with. Cambazola. Bubbly and Blue is named after Blue, B-L-E-U, because my favorite cheese is a blue cheese.
Okay.
Cambazola is like the creamy version. It's almost brie-like. And we also have two bries, triple cream, one with Manoa honey. We always like to go local whenever we can.
Nice.
And then it's with candied pecans, and that's fig relish with some dried figs. We also have manchego in the front. That's sheep's milk. So manchego is from Spain.
Oh.
And it's from the Manchega sheep.
Oh.
So it's Manchego. And then aged Gouda. So there's two different types of Gouda. One is like a regular Gouda, which is easy to cut and kind of soft. This one is aged. I think this is 5 years. And so this one is a little bit sharp, kind of sweet. It's almost like butterscotch. And so I love aged Gouda.
So is it like inappropriate to start using your hands? What's the proper etiquette for charcuterie? No?
Actually, there's no etiquette. I don't know why people think it's like really bougie to have a cheese and charcuterie board. It's really not, because it's like the perfect thing. You can eat it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. And it's just for everybody, enjoyed in like little groups. And so you eat it any way you want.
It's funny because
Use your hands.
that's the same thing with Lambrusco, because like so I poured two wines that are completely different, but are Lambrusco, essentially the same grape, and we're here like sniffing it and smelling it and doing these things out of these fancy wine glasses. Like Lambrusco is like born for just drinking. Like, it's a gulpable consumption wine. So, you know, you go there to the trattoria or whatever, and it's just like you get it in plastic cups. And honestly, like, we had to take pictures of the wine beforehand, so it's not cold enough. Like, put it on ice. Like, there's no pretense when it comes to Lambrusco, just like there's no pretense when it comes to charcuterie.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna use my hands
Okay.
and dig
Use
right
your
in.
hands.
What are the?
Cool.
It's like a dropper.
Let's see. Oh, okay. We also have braciole in there, which is usually charcuterie is pork, but braciole is a ear dried beef, salted beef.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, my husband is part of Bubbly and Blue, that's what makes a difference because we have a chef. And so we have balsamic vinegar and olive oil. So you want to just it's a pipette and just do little droplets on the braciole. So, and you can use a
I'm sorry, pipette?
Yeah, this is
it's like, I'm
pipette.
sorry, I said
It's
dropper.
like a little dropper.
Well, I'm hungry. We're gonna take a quick break, but let's definitely dig in. I want to try that. It's really exciting.
Go for it.
Okay.
He already grabbed. What did you
With
grab?
your fingers, Chris.
No pretense.
Hey guys, welcome back. So we are getting into the charcuterie board, and the first thing I noticed, and I'm so sorry, but I literally thought it was like a smaller baby lime or lemon. But what did you call it?
So it's a calamansi.
Oh.
Yeah, and so charcuterie boards are like Italian, French. There's a lot of different countries, but I'm Filipino, so I need to put something Filipino on my board,
Hey,
and that's the calamansi.
Oh, cheers to that.
Cheers.
I have to say that, and I think we were talking about it briefly, but I mean, this whole pandemic, you start to get creative, whether it's with cooking, and me and my boyfriend will make little like charcuterie boards, or what I thought it would be, where it's like you put crackers, hummus, like some type of veggie, like almonds. But like looking at yours, I'm like, I thought I was doing good. I was just like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, I'm so basic. I just bust out my cutting board and just start throwing grapes. And I mean, I don't even know much about cheese. I'm still learning, but just put like mozzarella.
Did you have to get more educated, or you? I mean, it
You
seems
know
like
what?
you're-
I'm not an expert in cheese, but I think the great thing about this is that we're all learning together. Like I get to try new cheeses every week, and it's just really nobody's really an expert. There's so much to learn. So, yeah, you just keep
agree.
piling things on, and then it looks good in the end.
Can you make vegan charcuterie boards?
You can.
Oh,
I don't eat meat.
Oh,
Disclaimer. So
There it
they're
is.
probably going to be
you're gonna
joking.
have a great season.
Yeah,
have a great
giving me-
There's
A lot
actually
of
a pool by the crew, like to see. Yeah,
You know what? There's a lot of vegan options.
sure.
Mine is
and
vegan.
on the board, there's a lot of vegan.
I know, that's why I've been grabbing the fruit, and there are crackers that I noticed. That
Marcona almonds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What kind of wine did you like? Did you have a preference between the two? Why?
Because first of all, it just reminds me of like my childhood and like going to church. I'm gonna be honest, like communion, I looked forward to it. I really, who didn't? Can we just be transparent for a second? Anyways, but it also like smells like Welch's.
Like Welch's grape juice?
Yeah, it reminds me of grape juice.
You know what's crazy? So like wine is made from grapes, right? Like good wine is made from grapes.
way.
But like, well, I know who I'm dealing with, so I gotta be very clear.
Okay, keep going with the story.
Not a lot of wine smells like actual grapes. There's like a couple grape varieties in the entire world, and Lambrusco is one of them. So like we might have like a tasting savant on our hands, who knew?
I actually love Lambrusco. This reminds me of college. This is one of my first types of wines that I actually started drinking. And my friends in college, you know that we drank this until our teeth turned purple. Like that, because it's like grape juice. Like you don't realize, and the next thing you know, it's like, oh, had a bit too much.
It's funny because it's a college thing because it's pretty, like it's sweet and it's pretty affordable.
Affordable.
It's very cheap, actually, certain brands. But like, how much would you pay for some of these? Like, keep in mind, these guys are fourth generation families. This was done in 1970. Like, they are probably the best producers in the entire region. How much would you pay for a bottle of this? You like it, right?
I love it.
Cool.
I love it.
Let's see it. I want you to be super right or super wrong. It's great.
$15.
Oh, you cheated, yeah? You Googled it.
Is it really?
Yes.
It's like, it's super rare to find things that are both rare and inexpensive. And these wines fit the bill. Like I have to ask favors to get these wines, and hopefully we love them so much here. We do such a good job of like explaining its application to charcuterie that we don't need to do that, right?
Yeah.
That
I
these
love
guys
it.
Can send more bottles our way.
How
and we can
much
drink 'em
would
up.
like a typical board of yours cost?
So it depends on the amount of guests that you have.
Oh, okay.
So like a box for 2 to 4 people is $55. Yeah, and then you can upgrade to a board. But this is for like 4 to 8 people, and that's like $95. We put a little bit extra though on this one. And then we have a grande board, which is for 8 to 12 people, and that one is like $155.
We got the wine and discount though. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can see that? That's so cool.
I
Did
know,
you
isn't
do
that
this?
cool?
I did. So I got a new toy. It's the Glow Forge. And so it's a laser printer. And so we can print our own boards. And so when we open our shop in April, we're going to offer, personalized boards too.
Wow,
I love
that's
it.
rad.
And this is something that, I mean, you did mention that your daughter is really good at getting the pomegranate. So it's kind of like a family affair. You do
Yeah.
it with your husband and your daughter. That's
My daughter, her friends come over. She's 13, so she likes to. Her friends come over and they want cheese and charcuterie. We also do picnics, so I've been doing picnics for her and her friends and seniors that don't really get a chance to kind of celebrate the year. But the picnics have been a great thing for them to get outdoors and just enjoy something cute and fun. And the cheese and charcuterie is perfect for teenagers.
Do you have like a favorite memory of yours from your childhood with like cheese or meat, charcuterie, or anything that you want to kind of share with your daughter?
Oh, I think that my daughter is just always around food because her dad is a chef, right? So she's been cooking with him for years, and I think that what she's gonna see is that we always gather around food, and it brings friends and family together, and that's what I want her to get from this. And also just during the pandemic, things happen, and my husband was supposed to open his restaurant and that didn't happen. But how do we pivot to something else? And so the cheese and charcuterie business, we were blessed to just like with people wanting the boxes, and it turned into a business. And so I kind of wanted to see that, you can have your job, which I do. I oversee operations for Side Street Inn for both locations with my partner Lisa.
Love
But
Side Street.
yeah, and that's my job, and I love that. But this is my passion, and so you have time for all of it if you want it. So I want her to see that, and I want her to see that good things can come out of crazy situations.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for sharing your passion with us. But we're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to shoot it over to our mixologist, Tevis.
Mahalo guys, welcome back to today's cocktail of the week. So this week we're gonna mix something up that I think pairs really nice with a charcuterie board. We're gonna do a variation of an amaretto sour. First off, we wanna get some Di Serono amaretto here. We're gonna do mostly amaretto in this, so 1.5 ounces. This is actually gonna be an egg white cocktail as well. So you wanna use pasteurized egg whites, maybe separate some egg whites beforehand. To give it a little bit of backbone, we're gonna add some bourbons. My choice here is Four Roses single batch, 1/2 ounce there. At this point, we're gonna add the egg white in here. I've already separated mine here. It's gonna add a nice creamy frothiness to the drink, more for texture purposes. Right here we got lemon juice as well, so 1 ounce of lemon juice and about 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. Now we're gonna dry shake this drink, which means at some point we're gonna shake it with no ice in it, and that's gonna help emulsify these egg whites into it and create that frothiness that we're looking for. Our chosen method will be called a reverse dry shake. So we'll shake it with ice first. We'll strain this out into our tin without the ice. Discard our ice here. Reseal this and shake it again. This drink, we're actually not going to strain it into ice. Here we got our pretty crystal glassware. If you can, I would suggest to double strain this. Gets those ice particles out, keeps it from getting a little more watery down the road. We'll add a little bit of Angostura bitters on the top for a little bit of cocktail art, I guess you could say, but also to add some aromatics to this drink. Amaretto sour. Cheers.
Thank you so much, Tevis, for the cocktail of the week, and we're back talking about charcuterie.
What do you think? What do you think about the pairing? Don't be nice. What do you think about it?
I love it.
Because this is, are you familiar with Lambrusco like beforehand? Or?
No, I wasn't. So I was so excited knowing that you were going to bring this on, but it's awesome. It's a great pairing because, you know, the charcuterie is so salty.
Yes.
So it goes with it so well.
The cool thing about this is like it's a low alcohol thing. Well, first there's bubbles, so there's texture, but it's pretty low alcohol. And you usually serve it, well, better Sam would have served it to you more chilled. But it's usually cold. And like, so salt makes alcohol taste way more alcoholic.
Oh.
So if you have like low alcohol wines, it handles salty foods really well. And like cheese, I know this is the charcuterie episode, but cheese is like, salt is so important.
Yeah.
Without salt in cheese, there's no cheese. So, and you see like the different like fat contents, like maybe one would work better than the other. One's a little more full-bodied and tannic and color.
One's more spicy,
Yeah.
and it goes with all of it. So this is a perfect pairing. And I love that it's like effervescent and cold, so you can do day drinking, you know, it's like, yeah. It's
Morning drinking.
Which we are
morning-
right
morning
now.
A whole lot of bed drinking. That's like my favorite type
It's
of
like,
drinking.
oh, what time is it? Who cares?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite, like, something type of alcohol that you like to eat with charcuterie?
Yeah, I like sparkling everything. So I like sparkling rosé, which is why I love this so much. But I love sparkling rosé, which is why we call it Bubbly and Blue. And then my go-to is a Pinot Noir.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm super basic.
These are like
for
Pinot-like qualities,
Yeah.
though, right? It's very floral. It's red fruit. There's like
Well, I mean, you came to the right
Cherry.
show because
Oh yeah.
you got a good Smalley over
Most
here.
women like Pinot, right? Isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
it's a thing. I don't like the stereotype.
Oh.
I like Pinot. I like Pinot a lot.
What's your favorite Pinot?
All of them. I know that's like a weird question, but I mean it's the worst question
Yeah.
for me to answer because like that's why you have, you know, like 30 Pinots at home because sometimes I'm feeling, it depends on, you know.
Well, Moani, we're gonna get right back to that. Actually, you guys can check out our extended version on YouTube
We're
because
done?
then you'll see the rest of our show, of course. Thank you so much for joining us at Wainan.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers and cheers. All right, hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so I'm gonna have you answer my question.
What was the question?
So because your job consists of trying various wines or different alcohols, you said that you can't pin it and have like your favorite wine. You love them all. You love all of the
It's like
alcohols.
not a favorite of all time. It's just the favorite of like
Okay.
what are you gonna open right
Okay,
now?
well then let me rephrase it.
Uh-huh.
Is there something that, okay, yes, you might like it, but it's not something that you want to have every single week or every other day or something that
How much do you think I drink, Moani?
A lot.
I did probably not
I
ask
mean,
that.
per our conversations, you had to taste, I mean,
I will say there's a time and place for everything. And that's
Oh.
what it is. And that's the salesman in me coming out. But like,
Okay.
there really is. And what I like might not be what other people like. And they're probably wrong because I have a great palate, but I'm just joking.
oh wow.
I'm just joking.
Moving on to, so where can we follow you, or do you have any exciting news with Bubbly and Blue?
Yeah. So we're opening up our cheese boutique
Ooh.
in Kaimuki, and we should be opening in April if everything goes smoothly. And so we're so excited about that. It's going to be a place that you can come and, you know, get freshly sliced charcuterie and cheeses from around the world. Our partner in the business is Skippy. Everybody knows Skippy,
Love
but
Skippy.
yeah, he's an importer. So we're able to bring in different cheeses and charcuterie from around the world. So it's going to be really,
And it's
really
at
fun.
Bubbly and Blue on Instagram.
Yes, at Bubbly and Blue, BLEU for blue cheese.
Very
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
So that's not the, I mean, obviously this was born out of the pandemic and you said that you can balance both your job and the thing that pays the bills and also your passion, which hopefully will morph into that one day. But tell us about your role at Side Street.
Side Street. So I
And don't be
oversee-
modest.
Okay.
Because what I hear is you are the president and CEO of Side, I mean,
But I do it with, I have an awesome partner, Lisa, and so it's definitely a team effort. Our team at both locations, they're amazing, and you know, I just crunch numbers and make sure everybody stays on track, and
modest.
we do a great job. She's also my BFF, so to be able to do, you know, work with my best friend is pretty amazing. It gets me choked up, but
Yeah.
you know, I've been blessed.
Well, Side Street's like an institution.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's the place where I learned to drink. I feel like I really,
Chris,
and-
really?
No, seriously, because I used to live like right around there, so like I would sneak away, and order what I thought was like really cool scotch and like kind
Was
of
it
be
cool?
an idiot. I'm in, I was a kid basically, but I do have a really cool story about chef. So I graduated at Manoa with computer science, and like you said, like there was stuff that like I thought would pay the bills. And then there's stuff that I loved. I always knew I wanted to be around food and restaurants. So like I took a semester at KCC, culinary, and I'm proud to say I'm a KCC dropout because I graduated Manoa right after that. But we had to interview like somebody. We had to find somebody that like we looked up to interview. And like here's this like kid, right, not even of age, asking Chef Colin to take time out of his like super busy schedule to do an interview. And this was before Zoom and all that kind of stuff, before FaceTime. So I actually went down to the restaurant. He made time for me. He offered me a beer, and I can't, but thank you. And sat down with me for like an hour just talking about food and bev industry, and like it's such a cool story because like it goes, and you're good. I'm like, everybody knows that I'm emotional. I'm a crier, but yeah,
okay, Chris,
I
you can
recently
cry.
I recently just got asked to do an interview, to be an interviewee of some KCC students. So like it went full circle for me. Like, first off, why the hell do you want to talk to me? But yeah, it was really cool, and I shared that story, and like it's it sort of gave me integrity. Like hey, I'm the perfect example. You can do whatever you want. I don't know anything, right? I just wanted to drink for a living. So yeah, shout out to Carson and all those students at KCC. Like, follow your dreams.
Yeah,
Go get it.
definitely. Colin was special. He was my mentor, and he really took me under his wing when I was 20 and finding myself. So he gave me a job as a bartender while I was going to school, and everyone was upset because I didn't have any experience, but he's like, you're gonna be just fine. And so we worked together for the next 10 years, and he really taught me a lot about the food and beverage industry. And so I owe a lot to him, And so when my husband and I ended our lease at our restaurant in Turtle Bay.
Ola.
Yeah, Ola. And that was a great time. But
10 years?
10
right?
years at Ola. It was so beautiful. But our daughter was going to school in town. And we moved to town, and I heard that Colin needed help, and I called him, and I was like, Colin, do you need help? And he's like, yeah, I do. And he would never ask for help. So I knew that he needed some help. So I said, okay, I'll be there on Monday. And this has been like going on for 4 years later. He passed away 2 years ago. And I am grateful that he trusted me with the business and carrying on his vision. And so I think that that's what me and Lisa are trying to do right now, is just make sure that, you always remember where you come from. You always remember how things started, and treat everybody with respect in the restaurant, and everybody has a role at Side Street, and everybody's just as important as the other. So just making sure that the restaurants are, run the way he would want them to. And I always ask myself in everything is like, what would Colin do? What would Colin do, And as long as I keep that in mind, then I think that Side Street will be okay, and we're gonna survive. And, it's such a great place to go and enjoy, and like big groups and small groups. Thank God we're like in the next tier, because Side, yeah. Let's cheers to it.
I'll cheers with your favorite.
What?
Yeah. No, I had some out of town guests, some friends from the East Coast, celebrating their like marriage again. So, yeah, last meal before the plane, Side Street.
Like wedding
Yeah.
anniversary?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, the first time they met me.
Oh.
I'm just joking.
Friend
It was a wedding anniversary. No, I mean it's still amazing. It's still awesome. You talk about like food and wine bringing you back to a particular place. Like I remember, you know, I grew up on Kauai, so it wasn't like a thing for me. It wasn't like the institution that it is for people on Oahu. But yeah, ever since I hit 21, it was like the place. You show all of the out of town guests there. My mom and dad come to town. We have dinners there. Like it's for all you youngins. You know, side streets like. Yeah, it's a
and
very
I think
special
that
place.
it's so important for us to be consistent, you know, and the food needs to be just side street. We don't need to get like fancy and add all of these other things. Just be side street, just be like serve good local comfort food and we're okay.
Yeah, my cousin had her wedding reception at the side street in Kapahulu. So we took the whole back side of it, and it was just, I mean, it was a small gathering, but it's all you need. You just need family and good time and good food.
I have a confession, and I feel like now I can, like, you're the perfect person to confess to, and especially since we've been drinking a little bit.
What happened?
I love how she starts with what happened.
What did you do?
One of my favorite things to drink at Side Street is the Rogue beer,
Oh yeah.
right? And
I'm holding my breath right now. Come on, Chris.
What
spit it out.
and there are pint glasses, right? that
Did you
say-
steal it?
I took a glass after a chef passed. Like I went there and I drank, and then I stole a glass. And then I proceeded to tip like the server like $50 because I was like, oh, fuck, I stole something.
You could have just
I
asked
never
her.
steal. But I don't know, like it was, I swear that's the only thing I stole in my entire life.
Oh
but
my
for some
God.
reason, like
You
I
sure?
was,
That's
check your
hilarious.
purse. Is it hilarious?
It's
Can you, I
hilarious.
feel like I'm in confession right now. We
Oh
talk
my
about church a
God.
lot.
Yeah.
Can you absolve me of my sin? Cool. Are we good?
You tipped
Did
the
I
server
make-
$50, so it's
Did I
like
make right to the
done.
right
yeah,
person?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Do
felt
people
super
steal
guilty.
a lot from
Oh,
restaurants?
it's a thing.
That is not a thing.
Oh,
What
yeah.
do you steal?
I used to work at this place where like people would take oyster forks, people would take like ramekins.
They take the little ketchup. you
Yeah,
know, they take
really?
the ketchup,
Ramekins?
the cute ketchup and
Back when like Moscow mules were all the rage, and the copper cups and stuff.
or
Like,
they wouldn't take the copper.
oh, yeah, like people would steal copper mugs. It's crazy. People are terrible.
I mean, so are
Really?
you saying that you're
I'm
terrible?
absolved though, right? Like we're good. Okay, I still have it. I do.
Oh, the
I
friendship's
do.
still there.
I still have it. It survived the move. It survived like.
I'm sure he would want you to have it.
I think you need to give it back.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I
No,
can't
I'm
believe you
absolved.
It
shared
doesn't
that.
belong to you,
I
Chris.
did. This is wine and this is the extended version. We can come clean. With it. No, I felt super guilty, so I'm glad that that I got to get that off my chest after all these years.
I thought you were gonna go off on like a story of like you drinking too, and then you just went
Yeah.
to That's cool.
Have you ever stolen anything in your life before? Moani
Yes,
the
I
Angel?
did.
Okay, cool. I'm
Would
just
you like
wondering.
to ask what I did? What I stole?
Yeah, sure.
I stole a 99-cent candy cane that had Hershey Kisses in it, and I got caught.
Oh my God.
And my parents got called down, and I was banned from the establishment for a whole year. For 99 cents.
I love confession hour.
Oh, times
I
are
love it.
hard.
Times are hard.
Why? You just wanted it. You just wanted it.
Well, so
Well, my
it was
friend
a couple
doing
years
it,
ago,
and like she told me, like obviously I was in elementary, and she was like, "You got to do it too," and
Oh, you're in elementary.
peer
Okay.
yeah,
pressure.
and I was like, "No, I don't want to. My mom's gonna be upset." And then I did it, and I just remember like I was just a tap on my shoulder, and I just turned around and I was like, "Okay." And my mom walked in, my dad walked in. My mom is very like expressive. My dad is expressive if it gets to a certain point, but when he is upset and disappointed, there's just in the back of the room. It was
The
horrible.
silence treatment.
Yeah,
and
I
that's
learned
the
my
only thing you
lesson.
stole.
That's the only thing I stole.
See, it only takes one.
99 cents. You know those like it looks like a candy cane, and then they would fill it with the Hershey Kisses.
Where'd you
Yeah.
put it? I'm curious. Like, where'd you hide it?
I like put it in my jeans. I wasn't experienced, guys. Anyone out there? I'm sure you've done it too. It's all right.
We're all angels. Nobody
What have you
stole
stolen?
anything.
Yeah. What? Oh, on, guys. This is not about what everybody stole.
He asked me. We should
Okay,
return the favor.
I've stolen. We had this school project going on, and we had Monopoly money, and I stole Monopoly money in 6th grade, and I had a parent-teacher meeting because of it.
Did you steal it?
My
like,
mom and I were
as a
just
part
talking
of the
about this like a
game?
couple days ago.
Like you were trying to cheat, or did you just like, oh, this is like you're 6th grade and you're like, oh, this is real money, I'm gonna take it.
No, I just hung around with really naughty girls
Eva Beach,
Eva Beach. Yeah, and a friend gave me like a stack of Monopoly money, and when the teacher was headed my way, I like stuffed it down the drain, and I was like, I don't have it, and they're like, no, you were the last one that had it. So I was like, I got it.
How about you?
Well, Cheryl, you're absolved from this because like, I don't think you need to share your story. You're a guest. But
Thank you.
if you care to.
Yeah, you don't need to.
I didn't steal anything, but I think it's worse because I had somebody steal something for me, which is worse.
She's a boss.
That's straight up sinister,
That is
yo.
like
That's
savage.
way worse than all of us. You should feel ashamed of yourself.
Oh, good though. I want that, but I'm not gonna. You can get it for me. That is like savage. That's like boss mode. Oh.
That's why you're the boss, though. That's why you're the boss.
Gangsta.
So bad.
Gangsta Cheryl.
So bad.
Yeah, what was it?
It was like these leggings from Liberty House. Liberty House was still a store. It was these leggings, cute leggings, and I wanted it so bad. And yeah, it's bad.
Did you get caught?
No,
Did your friend get caught?
no.
Don't they have the sensors?
They didn't have sensors back then.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pretty old.
Oh,
I'm pretty
man.
old.
I
Wow.
remember I used to go to Liberty House all the time. That's where I would go like back to school shopping.
This is like confession hour, wine
It
and
is.
confession hour.
Yeah.
Don't we feel better about ourselves now, right?
I do actually.
There's a weight
I'm
that
an
has been
angel.
lifted. Yeah.
I also like now talking about it. It's like 99 cents, Moani. Really? It's $1. That's 4 quarters if you need it. Oh man.
But see, I got to confess to the person that actually could. Like, hey, you're good. I got the okay.
I'm sure he would want you to have it.
Thank you. Did you ever go back to the place that you stole it from?
The place that I went to is no longer there. So yes, I have gone.
There's like a
back.
picture of you on the wall. Yeah, they're like,
I was so
Moani's
afraid.
most
My
wanted.
mom literally scared the out of me.
That your picture would be.
She's like, Moani, you need to understand. This is gonna go into public records. And Lanai can attest. My mom, Moani, they're gonna have your photo. They're gonna make sure that you never come. We could call the cops. The cops could come. I'm like, oh my God, Mom, please don't.
Don't call the po-po. Don't call the cops.
No, the guy, what is it called? The security guard, he was like undercover. And he was like, I can call the cops and the cops can come and get you. And I was like, okay.
They were just trying to scare you.
They definitely did. I never did it ever again.
Sure. The next season, we're gonna get the other confession on the Moani watch after a couple more glasses.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate
Thank you guys.
this.
This is fun.
This was really fun. It's like
And delicious.
talking with friends.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Well,
fun.
thanks,
Can't wait
guys.
for your new place to open.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure.
we'll
When does
definitely
it open
support.
again?
In April.
April.
Yeah.
And then Instagram at Bubbly and Blue.
Yes.
Blue, BLEU.
You. Yeah.
Okay, like blue
You.
cheese.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at WineDen and also hit us up on YouTube. Hit the subscriber button and we'll appreciate it. See ya.
Cheers,
Oh,
guys.
cheers one more time.
Sure.
Thank you.